The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits.
All right, I've got one here that I'm really excited about. Really excited. Why? Because it's one of those times when everything lines up. It's still cheap. We're going to get into the first thing you should look at is it's still cheap. Has it already run 75 million% in the last couple days? No, not even close. In fact, it's a little bit beat up. It's still cheap, $86.7 million market cap. Super tiny. This one's on the OTC. Ticker for me is CANSF. Just type in the full name, though, which is Willow Biosciences, Inc. Willow Biosciences, Inc. I like it. Right away, the chart shows me this thing has been above $1.50, like $1.60, $1.60. It's right now sitting less than half off at like 70 cents. All right, kind of intrigued. So there's been some love. People know about it. People already know about it, but it's not sitting at all-time highs. All right, it's not dying. This is actually a real awesome company, too. Just wait. The next generation of nature is what they're claiming for themselves. What do we essentially have here? We've got some people that saw the greenleaf industry, and they were seeing how they were trying to pull certain little things out of it, like the THC or the CBD or all the other ones out there, CBG and blah, 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 all the others. It costs a lot of money to do that. A ton of money and time. They were like, what if we can take that and just make it in a lab, the one ingredient we want. That way you don't have to start from plant, pull, do all this stuff to try to get to this one little item. Let's just take that item and just duplicate that. That's basically what they did. As far as I know, they're the biggest, best in the sector, which is huge. But people that know a little bit more about this than I do, they're saying that they're about a year-ish ahead of everyone else. They've already got some stuff that's coming to market. It's kind of a middleman play, but they're also looking to do their own thing. They, of course, have proprietary plant genomes, enzyme evolution platforms, genome-wide editing. This is kind of like the Ginkgo. Remember that Ginkgo SPAC? SRNG ticker, Soaring Eagle? That thing that's valued at like, I don't even remember, 5 billion, 10, I don't even remember, billions. The more I looked into this, the more I was like, this could have actually been a SPAC target. And I feel like if this went SPAC, this would be $1 billion deal. They actually even have revenue coming in. I want to say it's around like 30 million coming in. The market cap of only 86 million currently. Most biosciences are multiples is what they're trading at. This one's really not. If you want to get real dorky with it and you know the industry, come down to my site. I have the exact terms that you can look up. Okay, but take a look at this. What we have now is something called CBG, which I guess is like the main host of everything. So through CBG, you can get all the other stuff through it. So like, let's make that first, because if we have the mother, they call it like the mother of apples, we can then branch to other things, but they started with that. It's launched now. What can you use that stuff for? Cosmetics, food, and beverages. That's huge. Next, they have the THC that you can use for pharma, food, and beverage. CBD, after that for cosmetics, kind of same thing. Then you got CBN. I didn't even heard of it. The other one, sedative and sleep aids. All right. If there's a more all-natural way for people to be able to function in life that are already on some sort of synthetic drug or something, I think this is kind of cool. CBDVs, THVVs, appetite suppressants. This is awesome. They're showing here they've got the track and showing you how long it's going to take to get all the other things ready. Like the THC thing looks like it might be ready like first quarter next year. We already got stuff that's already going to be making money now. That's why this is important. I was listening to the CEO talk, and by the way, it's good that they do that. The CEO does actually come out and talk. We know who he is. It's not some dude behind the curtain, based out of Canada. And then now they have a location in the Silicon Valley of California, and they've got real labs. It's a real company. The CBG stuff we're talking about that you can get now, it's good because it's got antimicrobial properties, antioxidants, and it's an anti-inflammatory. I've heard dogs that have had problems, like small dogs, like bulldogs and stuff, where like their legs give out, and you can try to give them all sorts of over-the-counter drugs that vets give out, but they don't work. And I know someone who's given their dog actually CBD oil, and now the dog can walk. So if none of the synthetic stuff works for that dog, but the CBD oil does, this stuff will work even better. Why? Because even the CBD, I guess, has got maybe like a micro trace of THC. It's also got the stinkness in it, right? So stinkness, maybe some THC, which is the stuff that gets you whacked out in the brain a little bit. This stuff, since it's 100%, well, 99% pure, 99.9% pure, they're saying more consistent batches. It's completely odorless, so you're not going to smell like a skunk, and you can get it in a powder form, which I think is really interesting. So it's like a cleaner version of even CBD, but they're just grabbing the CBG thing. They're showing here that they're looking at it as a $1 trillion global market. I could totally see it, even with the drinks. Can you imagine, like, because there's like anti-inflammatory kombuchas, right? Kombucha drinks and all that. By the way, those have a little bit of alcohol. I think all kombuchas have a little bit of alcohol. And if you can get this stuff in a drink for anti-inflammatory, you know, people with lupus and all sorts of sore joint stuff, make you feel better. Antimicrobial, antioxidant stuff, you know, people take a lot of like red berries and all that. This kind of does all that. So I can see drinks, pills, like instead of aspirin or Tylenol, you can take a little pill of this thing. But then it looks like we're getting into some of the cosmetic stuff over here. They're showing even anti-aging stimulates gland to skin, which releases moisture for your skin, increases collagen production. The cosmetic industry is absolutely massive. If you haven't seen my video on the ultimate Becky stock, that's actually what I'm hoping for. I want a SPAC actually to fully go Becky and get us real cosmetics. There's so much money in it. If the right person's behind it, it can do very, very well. I think this could be the new hip thing. It's starting to be. Antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, suppresses inflammation in skin induced by bacteria, UV, and other environmental factors, prevents bacterial growth in skin, including acne. So it can be used for acne treatments. Because I guess a lot of like acne and stuff is from bacteria. So it's going to kill off all that. They're saying by the end of the year, they're going to continue to sign new partnerships, and that's what we're really here for, and potentially bring own skin care products to the market. Even got their brand on it here. So that's huge. So we got the middleman play where they're selling the powder to whoever wants to buy it, and then they might have their own brand too. I think that this thing could easily be, you know, one big contract away from multiplying our money, for sure. Absolutely. It shows you more of the things that all this can help. Your appetite, brain and peripheral nerve systems, nausea, seizures. I've heard of that. That's when I was actually first hearing about CBD, was like I saw this, I think it was like a documentary, like this kid in Oregon was having seizures, it couldn't function. They tried all the drugs from the doctor, none of them worked, and they gave him, I think it was CBD oil, and the seizures stopped. I don't know if you know anyone that has seizures, but they suck, dude. So if they can go from CBG to the CBDV, you know, basically any problems you got, pain, sleep, whatever, they got the exact one that you need. And it's produced way less expensive than pulling from straight green leaf too. So it's less expensive, it's more pure, and it doesn't stink. It doesn't stink. Look at this though. They're showing the global acceptance of the cannabinoids presence large addressable market. So they're showing, you know, Canada, it's always been paving the way. United States kinda, you know, but they want their hand in it, just like everyone else. But you know, in the UK, but they're showing all the brands here. GW, Univer, Amazon, Coca-Cola, Constellation brand, Molson Coors. Like Molson Coors has actually got a beer in Colorado. That's got, I think, CBD in it, but remember, it's still got a little trace of the other stuff, and it's still kind of gross. So it'd be way easier for Coors to make it with this stuff than the CBD stuff, because then they don't got to cover up the stank, and then you don't have to worry about the THC stuff. Pepsi, Ambev, Nestle. Oh, yeah, Nestle, huge. So they're saying, of course, best-in-class management and technical team. I kind of think they are, though. I was looking them up. So the place in Silicon Valley in California is actually Mountain View, where they're doing strain engineering. It's not just like a call center. They're actually doing engineering and stuff there. Engineers from Silicon Valley are not cheap. 250 grand a year at least, I'd say. Fermentation and R&D processing they're doing there, and commercial operation. This is the big deal. Vancouver, BC, plant sciences, R&D, quality assurance, and quality control. Total headcount of 55. Research development, management team co-founded 5 companies, all of which successfully sold for over $4 billion in aggregate. Raised more than $1 billion in equity and debt. You guys are on it. How about the numbers? Let's talk about more numbers. In February this year, they raised $28.75 million via prospectus offerings to support research, strain development, scale up, and commercial launch. Wow. Right at that inflection point where the first hype went up, now it's died down, now we're getting ready to the rocket. Any big brand that starts using them, one press release could send this thing multiplying. 77.3 million raised to date, with management and board investing more than 8 million personally into Willow. So the management has got 8 million alone. And that's a lot when you're only looking at 77 million totally in. This all even seems really, really lean to me. How have they got this far with only $77 million? It actually seems really low. March 31st this year, the cash position equals 46.5 million and no debt. Strong insider ownership. 31% of insiders own the company. That's huge. Aligned with shareholders, insiders' performance incentives achieved when, oh yeah, check this out. So when the ticker Willow has a 20-day VWAP, volume weighted average, so when for 20 days straight, they've got to have a price of $3.50 a share, and then the insiders will get a performance incentive. So in other words, everyone is going to want to get this share way higher. And remember, only at like 70 cents. So it's got like 4x-ish, 5x-ish to get to the 350. That's awesome. Talk about employee incentives. Who knows what it is? Maybe they'll give them $5 grand, or I don't. Who knows, man? It could be even a heck of a lot more. I'm sure it'd be more than that because a lot of these people have shares of it. Employee, okay, they're giving employee options of 7.7, so it could be something with that. They just moved to the TSX in December of last year. Ticker for TSX is WLLW, and then they also just started trading on the OTC. I don't know when. I'm guessing recently too. They're showing the roadmap here. 2021 plus. Continue to sign up CBG related supply agreements. Again, they're selling. Commercialize additional cannabinoids. So again, they're pushing the CBG first, and then they're going to go to all those other ones that they were showing. And then complete GRAS. I don't remember exactly what GRAS stands for, but it's something like green certified or something like that. Work for CBG anticipated H1 of next year, enabling food and beverage consumer products. So by first quarter of next year, we can get into food and beverage, and it's gonna be fully approved and good GRAS approved, and then start to work on other classes of compounds beyond cannabinoids. I thought that was pretty interesting. So like, what are they gonna get into? I don't know. Oh, you know what? Probably like mushrooms or something, right? Because that's kind of a cool thing. Seemed like it'd fit with them. I don't know. Who knows? I'm totally just guessing at that point. Here's management. They're legit. Look them up. Read it if you're really interested. Do they stay up to date on stuff? Like, are they real peoples and stuff? Something that goes through my head right away, too. The answer, quick answer, yeah. When was this? 2 weeks ago. Willow Biosciences announces expansion of its commercial operations team and development portfolio. An update on its intellectual property position and formation of ESG committee. So they're trying to stay green and clean, you know. Great, but they're updating people. This all definitely helps. Not only that, they're all over YouTube. Look them up. They got tons of videos and interviews with like the CEO and all that, skin and health and anxiety and inflammation and yada yada. Just goes and goes and goes. Just type it in. Look at this. This just happened June 10th of this year. Willow signed its first commercial customer with a company called Cellular Goods. Supply agreements. They're already selling it. We've already got it coming in. Biotechnology company producing ultra pure sustainability made compounds. UK is an UK based provider of premium consumer products based on biosynthetically made cannabinoids are announced today that there are two companies that signed a multi-year agreement. Cellular Goods is a premium skin care product that is actually launching autumn of this year. Maybe in a couple months, the first product to hit with these guys' powder up in there. Sweet. Completed a series of studies with its development partner, so it's been third-party tested, Signum Biosciences Inc., that demonstrate the safety and anti-inflammatory, anti-aging, and antimicrobial properties of Willow CBG on human skin. The results, coupled with the sustainable and safe manufacturing nature of Willow's manufacturing process, make Willow CBG an ideal core ingredient for cosmetics in the evolving regulatory landscape of the United Kingdom. Fantastic, dude. That's just number one. And I've never heard of that company though. Cellular Goods, whatever. It's a stepping stone. I'll take it. Just because I haven't heard it doesn't mean much either. Where could they end up though? Look at this. So topicals with Colgate, the brand Colgate toothpaste, and Palmolive soap. Y'all heard of that? Well, that's a brand. It's just like Nestle, where like, dude, they own, that's the mothership, and they own all sorts of brands underneath it, consumer products brands. Look what just happened here. Colgate and Palmolive filed a patent on anti-irritant CBD antiperspirants. Boom, right there. It's a deodorant, man. You stinky? Just rub some of this green leaf powder up on you. Comes in a stick form now. This is huge. So they're going to have the patent on it, probably, if they get it. Colgate will. And who's going to be the one to choose? It's these guys. It's these guys, man. If we get the Colgate Palmolive thing, this is so huge, dude. I can see it 5-10xing easily. Maybe even more. Maybe just to catch up, it'll 5-10x. But once it really runs with the Colgate Palmolive big bros, the value investors out there, sensitive skin, skin barrier, skin health patent. Beyond antiperspirants, Colgate Palmolive said its invention could be applied to other personal care items for the skin, hair, hand soaps, body wash, shampoos, hair conditioners, and even cosmetics. And whilst CBD had been highlighted as a preferable cannabinoid in the patent filing, it said other cannabinoids, including cannabinoid CBC and CBG and CBD, among others, could also be used. Where are they going to get these, and where's the cheapest to get them, and where's the most purest place to get them? Willow. So they could call them up and be like, yo, I need the CBC and the CBT. We can get it. Get it for half price, doesn't stink. No THC. Actually pulled this from an actual Reddit post. There's actually like a whole Reddit subreddit for Willow, I think. So thank you for Downtown Van 123 for letting us know. This is that drink in Colorado I was talking about, some Molson Coors. Y'all ever had a Coors Light, Blue Moon? Just launched its first CBD drinks in the U.S. I've actually talked about this. I used to invest in stuff like this. Molson Coors Tap. Anyone invested in Tap right now? It's not only set its sight on exploring and surging hard seltzer market, but it's now making a push into CBD beverage in Canada and the United States. Once all this is approved with more of the United States and all that, you think Molson Coors is going to spread that around the rest of the world? Yeah, buddy. That's why I was invested in Tap. I'm not anymore. I haven't looked at it in a long time, but it'd be funny to do it. Like White Claw, right? Imagine if they signed something with White Claw, what this stock would do. It would be crazy. How about competitors? We already talked about Ginkgo Bioworks, multi-billion-dollar SPAC. That's just chilling. With that one though, you do get some other things that they're already working on, but the problem with the Ginkgo Bioworks, they got like 10 trillion things going on. I don't know. Are they leading? I think they're probably leading some things, but I don't think they're leading this whole CBD or Greenleaf expansion. Pretty sure these guys are ahead. So there's that, but then there's this company here, which is Amyris. Ticker on this is AMRS. I think this is kind of like Ginkgo Bioworks. It's legit, but you know, we got a $4.3 billion market cap here. And if we're ahead of those guys just by a little bit, that's huge. Because if we're first to market, we get one decent deal. Again, we're sitting at 86 million compared to 4.3 billion. Charts beat up. I know, I don't like really getting into health stuff really. Because usually we're waiting on like the FDA approvals, mainly like the shot and the drug stuff, right? But I think this is kind of a different side. It's a different play. It's not as big and crazy either. Like, where else is this going to go sitting at only 86.7 million shares? That's my question. Am I nuts? Did I get too excited about this? Or are you jumping in with me? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't liked, commented, or subscribed, please do it. It definitely helps out the channel.
Please friend us on Twitter and StockTwits.